Scarpins Avenue.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Sklarbro Country, the virus edition, aka the Pandy Pods,
aka two. I don't even know where I'm going with this.
Two Jews, no harm in Killabrews.
Two bros, no garden hose.
Two fans of Fauci, one Salmon Couchy.
Yes.
How about this one right here? AKA two dueling Carsons are helped by @Huddletron to make a podcast polygon that's lots of fun. That's Addison Walton.
Yeah, there you
How
go.
about AKA a shout out to the special brood who viewed on YouTube and the ones who saw AKA Sklarbro like William Bravo. There you go.
Look at that. Two buddies, no fuddy-duddies.
Here
to
we
quote
are.
Our dad.
That's right. All right, guys, lots to talk about. It is the evening. This is when Jay could get away from his kids, for Christ's sake, and we can do this thing.
Damn kids.
So let's jump into it, shall we?
Let's
right
do
away.
it.
We got stories right
Okay.
now.
Now, Rand, I'm going to ask you this. Doesn't the concept of a Bridezilla seem like an outdated concept with what we've gone through this year?
Given a pandemic, it is definitely superfluous. We don't need to deal with
Before
Bridezilla.
Before COVID, it was awful.
But now it feels like an indulgence.
It's unacceptable right now. All right. You can't, like, if you can't wait till this thing dies down before you get married.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to tell you right now, you might not have a strong relationship. There's a good chance you don't. If you need to quote unquote
Force
lock
a
it
wedding.
down,
Force a wedding.
if you need to lock that shit down, then that person might not want to be with you.
Yeah.
You have to consider that. I'm sorry.
As soon as the dust settles, it's going to be looking like something else.
Right. They're going to be looking for someone else. And you can't. Look, you cannot be demanding of anyone or anything, anyone, any business right now that's still giving you something.
You can't be like, it's my wedding and I want more.
Right. Beggars can't be choosers. We're lucky to have any businesses open right now in the midst of this. You kind of get what you get and you don't get upset.
It's like complaining that there aren't crowds in sports. You have sports. Just relax.
Or like if you were like complaining about your waiter on the Titanic as it's going down. You're like,
the waiter,
he was like 11 minutes before my salad came.
And then
I'm not paying for this meal.
That's what I want to enjoy when the whole boat is being sucked down.
11 minutes I had to wait for breadsticks. The lack of self-awareness and the lack of general awareness is just, it's astounding.
It's
to me.
amazing.
In other words, Bridezillas were, in my opinion, the original Karens.
That's right. That was the straight up.
It's like acting entitled, acting like a princess, like everybody owes you. You know, that's it.
Exploiting the bride privilege.
Dressed in white.
Yes.
Demanding, insulting towards people who are trying to make your day special.
And in the end, they're just people, and people make mistakes. This is the thing.
Yes. Okay, you're paying a lot of money, and I get it. In certain cases, if you're paying a lot of money, you want things certain ways.
Fine.
But freaking out on someone does not do a damn thing. You simply say, okay, this is not right. This is not how I wanted it. We got to get this right.
Make it the way that it should be?
With what I'm paying you, I expect it to be right. You can say that.
You can do it in a tone that
we're not paying for it. That's the ultimate power move. Thank you for this.
Yeah.
This is not what we wanted. We're not paying for it.
Unless guys can change it.
And that's a way that you can get what you want without demeaning someone. And they may fight you on it. And if they do, and if they get in your face, then you have license to go off.
Then you
all
go
right?
off.
Otherwise, don't do it. And again, cannot stress how insane it is to try and force a wedding in this pandemic. You can't really have people. There was a wedding on Long Island where
10,000 people?
No, not 10,000 people. It was only like 140 people, but like 35 people got COVID, including staff members. Like the country club that held it is now facing a $15,000 fine. People saying it's spreading all over Long Island because of these assholes, and now they're social pariahs. These people.
Yeah.
Why force it? Just wait. You can get engaged.
Let's jump into this story.
All right. This is a story. I love this. The first story is about a woman who complained about a wedding dress for, I guess, in the pandemic that she ordered online.
And that's nothing new, but it's an online dress.
Right. But here's the thing that's different. Her comeuppance is so fantastic. And I'm going to say how she handled it
is actually pretty decent.
It might just provide us with the blueprint for Karens everywhere.
The off-ramp on the crazy highway that Karens are hurtling down.
It'll help them get unstuck, and it'll help them maybe get over their shortcomings. Okay?
Pay attention.
So this woman's dress arrives, and it doesn't look like the dress that she ordered. So naturally,
she's concerned.
She's upset.
Probably paid some money for it. Fine.
Does she take a picture of it? Does she send him an email with several question marks saying, "What is this?"
No.
She penned an angry letter.
With a quill?
Penned an angry letter. Angry, right out of the gates. Coming in hot.
Coming in hot.
Hot.
The U.S. Postal Service, which has been basically stripped of all of its power.
Yeah. Coming in hot, unlike how she looked in her wedding dress,
Okay,
according
fine.
to her.
Fair enough.
She was complaining that the dress was, quote, nothing like what she ordered.
Again, can't you call someone in customer service?
She attached 2 pictures of herself in the unflattering gown.
Great.
Look, they may have sent the wrong dress.
You just gave them the company Christmas card.
They may have sent you the wrong dress, but they did not put those awful tattoos on her arms, and she has awful tattoos all over her.
You can't blame them for
You
exposing
can't blame
that.
the wedding shop for your drunken decisions.
That's right.
But the staff at Millie Bridal immediately realized that she was actually the one in the wrong.
Uh-oh. See, this got to be a good moment.
That's a great moment. When someone goes all Karen on you,
and then you get the information.
like
you're
white girl beast mode,
And
and
you
now
just-
you're like, okay. She went yeast mode on you.
and I've got all the information.
Now we know you're wrong, so now you just savor it.
Just-
You swish it around in your mouth for a second before you put that condescending beat down on someone.
all the comeuppance in a snifter.
So they're raging against you,
Mm-hmm.
and they're wrong because most of the time Karens are wrong. Perhaps all the time they're wrong, which, by the way, is the case.
By the way, this should be called Rage Against the Pristine.
Right? Rage Against the Pristine. It might be the title of this episode. Okay. So they responded with this simple double statement. You put the dress on inside out. Please put it on the right way. Oh, snap!
Because it's not me,
It's so cold.
but it is so stone
They didn't
cold.
even insult her. That's
a
what's so great
killer.
about it.
That's a killer.
They just asked her nicely to put it on the right way.
That's Queen Gambit, Bishop to Pawn 2, checkmate.
They could have easily said dummy, but it's implied. They
No,
didn't have to.
You put the dress on inside out. Please put it on the right way.
There is so much delicious condescension dripping in that statement back to them.
It is so good
to
because
ask
it is
nicely.
corporately correct, but just to the point.
It's icing on the Karen cake. They did it. They did it.
Beat down.
And then here's where the
It's
bride,
beat down babka. Enjoy.
the bride couldn't help but laugh when she realized her mistake and confessed to having a quote unquote blonde moment.
All right. You
I
gotta
don't
throw
know why you
blonde
get-
people in there. I don't
I don't
get
know why you gotta
that.
throw the blonde people under the bus. Is that racist?
No, it's harassed.
Okay. On Facebook, she wrote on Facebook, the place where people go to tell their lies and hear their
And
lies.
hear their lies.
I do think it's
that and Parlor.
right. I do think it's funny that MySpace, when it just got vacated by all the people who were there, it just became like a wasteland and then a spot for like Mexican bands.
Yeah, and it was very popular.
And it was really, really cool for that. And so soon Facebook is just going to be like a QAnon message board.
That's it.
Racebook.
I'm Racebook and Parlor. I gotta
Parler,
give
okay.
Parlor. That is the new. Hey man, we get free speech. In other words, we can just do hate speech without anybody telling us that what we're doing is wrong.
Right. So first she
You know
wrote,
the way a parlor would be.
right, in a the way you hang out in a parlor.
By the way,
So-
and they spelled it wrong. Idiots.
So she went on Facebook, and I think she wrote that the election was rigged, which I think you don't even that they automatically autofill that into the beginning of your post on Facebook.
You just type in the word "the" and it says election was rigged.
Then she wrote, 2 weeks ago, my wedding dress came in. I was really upset about the look of it and sent an angry email to the company wanting to return it.
Sure.
I took pictures of me in the dress, telling them it looked nothing like what I had ordered. Well, today I received this response from the company. You put the dress on inside out. Please put it on the right way. Oh, snap. Okay, number one, I'm just going to say I'm impressed that she actually told the story the way it happened.
Kept the facts
So
in
she
there.
didn't lie about it to
No.
save face. This is insane.
It's just a simple public admission. People used to do this all the time.
It's so sad that we're like amazed by the fact that someone actually told the truth of the scenario.
It's like the Chris Rock bit. The guy, I take care of my kids. You're supposed to.
Remember when people used to say "my bad"? We used to say "my bad." Oh, my bad.
My bad.
My bad.
My bad is not a thing people say
But
anymore.
no one says "my bad" anymore because nobody wants to take responsibility for any of their mistakes ever, 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 ever.
Good for Karen. Good for Bridezilla Karen.
Who knew that they shipped the wedding dress inside out? Well, okay, now
You're putting on them.
Who knew that they did something deceptive?
Who knew
is what
that
she's trying to say.
Yeah, that's right.
In other words, how am I supposed to know that the dress was shipped the wrong way?
How was I supposed to take the extra step of look? How was I supposed to know that the zipper was zipping on the inside instead of
How
the
was
outside?
I supposed to know that the tags were on the outside?
How was
thought
I
that part of
supposed to
it.
know that the inside looked like the outside, so I never even pulled it out the other way?
Then she wrote, the dress actually turned out beautiful. And
There you
now
go.
we're back to contrition. Thank you. And she said she didn't and this is what I love about
She
this.
didn't say it was a left-wing conspiracy to ruin her wedding.
She admitted that the dress was beautiful. She gave it up for the dress
Yes.
company. This is how we get through these things,
This
people.
is the off-ramp, everybody.
And she shared the story to highlight how everyone can have ditzy moments. All right, not about everybody. I know you're trying to drag everyone into your mistake, but you did make a mistake. And I do think that so that's kind of a face saver to say that everyone has had
She wanted to make
moments like
sure
this.
that she wasn't the only one who does stupid things. That's face saving
And then
right
she
there.
added, which I like this, sometimes it doesn't matter how much school we put behind us,
Or how much schooled we get by a bride.
how much we get
dress
schooled
company.
out of it. We're still going to lack common sense, like how to put clothes on properly. That's a humble brag.
Humble brag.
We get it. You got graduate degrees.
Okay, fine.
Do you have a master's in premature misplaced anger?
Maybe you should.
They quote, they probably didn't appreciate my angry email. Well, that's a good acknowledgement.
Yeah, you shouldn't have come in hot.
This post is the least I could do to thank them for fixing, quote unquote, the problem. And then in parentheses, me. The problem was me.
Okay, I like her
I
again.
like that.
I'm
This-
now on board with her. I am willing to admit that I'm on board with everything she's admitting right here.
So I'm going to say something that's going to sound, maybe it'll be controversial. I don't know if this is controversial, Randy, but people are allowed to make mistakes. Okay. People are allowed to get scared by certain situations irrationally. All right. This Central Park Karen, I can't even really give her a pass because she got called on something and she was wrong and the guy wasn't threatening. But had she taken a moment while on 911
and said,
you know what? I thought this was a threat. It's not. I was wrong. Hung up the phone and said, sir, I'm sorry.
that would have been the whole story right there. That would have really been the
If
whole
she would
story.
have said, I have a ton of anxiety and that was wrong and it was a little bit racist and I'm sorry I assumed the worst of you in this situation.
I got a lot of growing up to do.
I need help and I'm going to get it. And will you forgive me? I bet he forgives her.
Yeah. And there's healing in that. There's healing in that forgiveness.
Is there even a story? Does it even make it out
I think
into
the
the
story
world?
is that someone actually asked for forgiveness in a situation where they were wrong.
So it's somebody admitting that they had a horrible lapse in judgment, which we all do. We all make those mistakes.
By the way, that opens the door for the person who is feeling attacked to get a little bit of power back and feel a little bit of
right,
schadenfreude.
because they get to forgive.
That's right.
They get
It's
to also,
empowering and it's healing.
it's healing to be able to say, I forgive you, because now you can grant onto someone else.
I love it.
Redemption.
All right, let's continue the wedding, Karen.
Wedding Karen continued, but I hope they appreciate a good laugh, and you all too, during this tense time of the election results. What? Well, I don't know why
that's
she's
not-
turning it on to the election.
I know who you voted
I
for.
hope you take comfort in the fact that I was not on your presidential ballot, nor will I ever be running for any office. Actually, I think she's better than this current outgoing president.
She should be running for office if she can admit mistakes.
And she probably understands, how to treat COVID better than he does. It sounds like it.
I mean,
She's
I would
ordering
say,
a wedding dress online.
number one, the fact that she put the wedding dress on backwards or inside out, to me, is a better job. Doing it wrong is a better job than what this
At
administration
least she's
has done.
trying.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't love that she's trying to have a wedding during the pandemic, but still.
No.
She said, I'll help save your life, but seriously, don't call me to dress you. Apparently, I have trouble doing that for myself. Help save my
your
life.
Is she a doctor?
Is she a nurse?
I don't know.
She's better than the president.
Yep. She can help save lives. He destroys them.
The old president. Let me just say the old president,
Yeah.
because that's how I'm going to frame him from now on.
How many likes did this
The
post
post
get?
garnered 1,000 likes.
Is that a lot?
I mean, it's
It is 1,000 likes,
okay.
but is it a
I
lot?
think we've got. I
It's
think
not
I've gotten 1,000.
newsworthy, although we're giving it a
Dozens
lot
of comments. Still not a lot.
dozens of comments is not that.
Someone wrote, that sounds like something I would do. I love you even more now.
See how easy it is? You become a hero by pointing
You
out
went
your
from
own
villain to hero just by admitting that you made a
Your
mistake.
weakness becomes your strength. You
I
are a
think-
superhero.
I think this is a way for us to heal the conflicts that we have.
Bridezilla, her strength is being able to apologize and acknowledge her blind spots.
This is okay. This is how we're going to heal this.
Can you
nation.
stop that? I defy you to stop a Bridezilla who's like, I made a mistake.
I goofed. My bad. That's the first story.
There you go,
There
down
you
in
go.
the books. All right, when we come back,
We talked about a Japanese sex robot the other day.
I feel like the Japanese are a little too into robots. We'll get it
We'll explain after
on the other
break.
side of this break. Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Let me just say, tickets are going for the
They're starting to jump up.
December 12th, our holiday episode live of Dumb People Town, eventbrite.com, live Dumb People Town. Look it up. We've got the Dollop guys. It's going to be Dollop People Town. We're donating some of the money to 2 charities, one for seniors and one for kids for the holidays. The musical guest is Mac Lethal. It's going to be fast. It's going to be fun. I can't wait to hear what he does for
his version of our theme song is going to be unreal.
Oh my God. I just think it's going to be different and unique and interesting and perfect for the holidays. Come to our holiday party.
Yes.
It's Saturday night, December 12th, 6:30 p.m. Get on that right now. Go to our Facebook page, like our Facebook page it's Sklar Brothers, and go to the YouTube page.
Watch the
Sklarbro
videos
Country.
on the Facebook page.
Good stuff happening. All right, let's jump into this, shall we?
So we talked the other day about a Japanese sex
robot hands being there to comfort your lonely pandemic moments that you may be having.
With a complicated elbow.
And it's a nice thought. It's utilitarian. Hands, like a robotic hand that sweats, smells like shampoo.
The way a Japanese woman's hand should smell
like Prel or Pert Plus, I guess.
I guess
it serves a purpose. Yeah, giving a literal and figurative hand to those who are feeling the loneliness of this pandemic.
Yes.
And I think it's a good thing. All right?
Maybe they're feeling lonely in their
drawers. I will never get past that. I'm sorry. That was something I saw a special where they basically it looks like a locker at the train station.
Port Authority.
People go to sleep in that in Japan. I guess to be close to the action, is it worth it anymore?
To live in Japan?
I don't think so. Sleep in a thing that looks like a locker. I just don't even get it. It's like living in a coffin. At any rate, Japan, and this is based on no facts or research, but I'm going to definitely say that Japan is on the cutting edge of creating robotic things to solve problems that may have come up, or that may have come up during COVID, like in this next story. Okay?
Yes.
We've talked at length about how with people staying at home, animals are feeling themselves. They're now out in the open. You're seeing more bears just chilling out. Elephants are running through towns. Flamingos. We've talked about it all the time. Every animal to me is now like an animal on the show alone, which Dan Van Kirk has now roped me into watching, which I now have roped my wife into watching, who is behind me. And my favorite bit to do with her now is to play the character that I do is I play the character of a Canadian guy who's watching alone, and I just point out things that we just saw on there like it's news to her. Oh, she lit the house on fire, Aim. She lit it on fire. Look, he's not catching any fish. That's not going to be good. And to Amy's credit, after a while, she just started saying, yeah. She became my Canadian wife, who's just humoring me,
knowing shut down emotionally, like most of Canada.
He's gonna have a problem with that Wolverine, Aim. He's sniffing around the old moose meat.
He's not gonna do it.
He's back behind.
It's getting to be dark over there.
It's my new favorite. So moose, lynx, foxes, wolverines, bears, they run that place. This is what I've learned about
people are staying at home more. Animals are coming out into the world. They're venturing out into
so the
our
world
lives.
is becoming like the world that the people of alone they are at the mercy of other animals. So if a moose comes by there, you got to be careful. If a moose comes by your tent or a bear wants to go hunting inside your tent, you're screwed. That's it.
So bears are a thing in Japan now. They're out. They're in the world. They're a part of Japanese.
Not that there'd be a ton of bears in Japan, but there are enough that it would be a problem. I didn't think there were bears in Japan. I don't know. That's silly of me.
Okay.
And so Japan, on the cutting edge of robotic sex companion hands, has come up with what I would consider a terrifying solution. Hokkaido City deploys, quote, monster wolf robot to scare bears away from residential areas. Okay.
A wolf robot?
Takikawa, Hokkaido. A wolf robot that can roar and flash its eyes red to scare off brown bears entering populated areas has been introduced in the city and Japan's northernmost prefecture after a steep rise in the sightings of animals in residential parts of the city. Introduced.
How about...
Feels like it's part of a storyline of the next season of Westworld. Well, we're introducing this into this.
How about deployed? Doesn't it seem like they're deploying that into the world?
A death horror robot monster wolf has been unleashed. Why don't we say that?
How about
Let's
that?
call it what it is, Japan.
How about that? Monster wolf.
The monster wolf developed by a firm in the Hokkaido town of Nai.
By the way, Monster Wolf sounds like a band that opened for Night Ranger.
Yep. They're all like 6 guitars, and everyone's got a double neck guitar. It's like everyone doesn't need a double neck guitar, Monster Wolf.
Don't tell me you love me.
All right. Nai and others was installed by the Takikawa municipal government in September in a bid to, quote, avoid friction between residents and bears. So no friction between bears and people. Let's introduce the thing that when it gets a mind of its own will turn on us all and kill us all. Okay?
Let's keep inventing things that will destroy us.
The initiative marks the first time
Let's create our own predators.
That's right.
Japan.
For the first time, the mechanical wolf will be deployed in front of General Housing, and since its arrival
General
on the
Housing
scene,
from the Army?
General Housing was my favorite Rick Springfield soap opera.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. It turns out monster robots, wolves work. Who knew?
They work.
Could you buy one to scare off your daughter's stupid boyfriend?
Yes.
Could you do that?
Yes.
Or Taylor Lautner, for that matter?
I would.
An individual connected to its installation said reassuringly, quote, at very least, it's effective in making residents feel at ease. Is it?
How are they feeling at ease?
Monster Robot Wolf is making everyone feel better.
Does it roam around?
Yes.
What?
The robot was being developed through a cooperative project involving a company in Otaseki, a precision machinery maker in Nai, along with Hokkaido University and Tokyo University of Agriculture, and I would add, along with the James Bond villain who lives in a volcano.
Sure.
It made its debut in November 2016. The finished product resembles a wolf with a body measuring 120 centimeters long and standing at the height of around 90 centimeters. I don't know how tall that is. I'm just going to say it's big.
90 centimeters is probably about that tall, like a wolf?
When its infrared sensor detects that a wild animal or human is close by, the robot shakes his head and lets out a roar to threaten anything in its surroundings.
Nothing terrifying about that. Oh, my God.
Holy crap. You're going to see that in your sleep.
God, it's going to...
Maybe it should be used to keep kids out of arcades at night.
Or like off of the street corner.
You don't want this thing to become too successful. That's what I'm saying. Because it becomes, in my opinion, it's the new Japanese army. And then that's how we're fighting wars. Let's send our robot monster wolves in to fight your robot monster wolverines.
But that might be good.
That's
better than people dying.
I feel like I may be watching too much Mandalorian, but that's where we're headed.
Yes.
At present, a total of 62 monster wolf robots are used from Hokkaido to the southern islands of Okinawa to ward off deer and wild boars that target farming produce.
That's kind of amazing.
I love that either this publication or the Japanese themselves are calling this thing monster robot wolves. Like they're saying it. I didn't come up with
make
this.
It up. No.
Like all pretense is gone. Why don't they call it the MWR65? They aren't even masking it with initials. They're just calling monster wolf robots. For years, in Takikawa, there was perhaps one bear sighting every few years. But since May 28th, there have already been a total of 10 this year.
Okay.
On September 14th, residents situated about 6 kilometers from the city's densely built-up areas, it's about 1 kilometer from the riverbank, reported to a city government that they could, quote, see a bear from the window of their home.
Sure it wasn't a hairy guy?
So a couple of people said that they could see a bear from their window.
And they're like, that's all they needed. Someone was like, I'm building these monster wolf robots. And like, give me the word.
I don't know if we should release these. One person said, I think I see a bear down by the river. Release the robot monster wolves.
They're ready.
Release the monster robot wolves. They were waiting all their lives, yes, Jay, for this moment. As soon as we get just 2 sightings of a bear, we release the robot monster wolves.
Release them!
3 days before, the city government also released reports of a bear cub sighting in the same area, and the information led to its decision to deploy the monster wolf robot. Well, tiny bear cub, cute, cuddly, release the monster robot wolves! This contraption will serve until the early part of November, before the bear's hibernation period, and will be put on the lookout again in the spring. Yuji Ota, head of Otaseki, I'm sorry, I just want to get all this right, said we want to let the bears know human settlements aren't where you live and help them with coexistence of bears and people, even though the humans are the ones who took over where the bears used to live.
Right.
Let's be clear about that.
Let's be clear about that.
Maybe build a fence. Mm-hmm. Maybe relocate the bears to more rural areas. Nope. Release the robot monster wolves or monster robot. I don't care. God, this is crazy.
It's insane.
What do they do with the monster robot wolves in the meantime?
Once hibernation starts?
Do they get repurposed as sex robots? That's my question. Their breath smells like dish soap. Maybe. Their paw sweat simulating long walks with a companion. They howl when you enter there.
All right.
That is a show, guys.
There you go.
That is how we do it.
Oh, it's getting kind of dark down there.
Yeah. She better get that fire going. Yeah. Yeah. You're going to have problems with that fire, Aim. She's going to have problems with it. Yeah.
It's getting cold. Looks like
temperature's dropping. She better catch that grouse. All right. That is the show. That's how we do. Stay connected, stay protected, don't get infected. Wear a mask, everybody. This is not a hoax.
But we've got the jokes.
Let's certify this election and move on, and we will see you tomorrow.
La-ti-da, la-ti-da-ti-da-ti-da, la-ti-da-da.